Hey guys, this is going to be for the advanced class. This is Monday's topic. That's April 27th, and I'll be looking at page 820, numbers 1 and 2. We're going to be looking at median and mode. We're going to be comparing median and mode, and we're going to be addressing a little bit with how median, mode, mean, and kind of how we can make some comments about how they relate to the center of the data. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. This is actually my third time trying to record this morning. Every time I start recording, my daughter comes out and blows a whistle. She thinks it's absolutely hilarious. So I decided I'd give her one more chance, and she blew it. All right, so for number 1, we're being asked to look at this set of data and find the median and mode, and then compare the median and mode. It's pretty simple, but you'll remember if you looked at my notes that I wrote out for you today, I mentioned that you first want to always put your numbers in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to start by doing that. All right, so you can see I've taken my numbers and I've put them in order going left to right, least to greatest. I also made a mistake. Mistakes happen. When I was going through and I was crossing them all off, I did skip 57, so luckily I had nice space in between my numbers, and I was able to squeeze that 57 in. So apologies for that. Now, to find the median, we're looking for the number that's in the middle of this set of data. So first thing I'm just going to do is see if I have an even set or an odd set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I have 8 numbers. That tells me that when I get to my median or my middle, there's actually going to be 2 numbers in the middle, and we'll look at how we're going to deal with that. So I'm just going to go in 1, in 1, in 1, in 1, and now I'm at 56 and 50. So I have 2 numbers. Now, we need to determine the exact halfway point between 50 and 56. Now that's something a lot of you I'm sure can do in your head, but if you're not so sure, one way you can always find out is just take those 2 numbers, add them together, and divide by 2. That's going to get you your half. So 50 and 56 is going to get you 106, and then if you just divide that by 2, you'll see that you get 53. So 53 is going to be our median. All right, now that we got our median, let's go ahead and grab our mode. Now remember, mode is not the number that is the greatest or whatnot. It is the number that you have the most of. Unfortunately for our example, the number that we have the most of also happens to be the greatest, so don't let that confuse you. You see I only have one of these, one of these, one of these, 1, 1, 1. And then once I get to 62, I got 2 of them. So 62 is the number that is appearing the most. So that is our mode for the set of data. And the only other thing they're asking us to do with that is to make a comment about comparing them. So you might say the mode is greater than the median, or the median is less than the mode. It can really be that simple. You're just making a truthful observation of the data when you look at the median and mode for it. And remember, that mode could be anywhere along there. It could be the smallest number, biggest number. It can fall anywhere, just whatever you have the most of. All right, so we're going to do this one more time, except this time we're going to relate it to how our median, mode, and mean measure up when we look at it compared to like the center of the data. When we think about the center of the data, we're typically talking about the median or the mean. Those are typically your right smack dab in the middle. So first off, in order to find the median, we're going to put these numbers in order from least to greatest. That'll also make it easier for us to locate our mode, since the numbers will be right next to each other. All right, so I sped this up a little bit and just put our numbers again in order from least to greatest. And we're going to go ahead and locate our median. Now this time, this data set is actually an odd set of numbers instead of an even set of numbers. So it's even easier to locate the median. We're just going to have one number in the middle, and that's going to be it. 1 in, 1 in, 1 in, 1 in. And there we land on 33. So 33 is the only thing there. So 33 is our median. It also happens to be my favorite number. Scottie Pippen, Larry Bird. Now, we're going to go find our mode. Now, since we put them in order from least to greatest, we're just going to find the number we have the most of. And I see that most of these numbers, or all of these numbers, I only have one of, except for these two guys. 31, I've got two of them, so that's the number I have the most of. And then finally, we're going to get the mean. Now, I cheated and went ahead. Remember, finding the mean from Wednesday, we add up all the numbers and we divide by however many numbers we have. So I added them up and got 224 right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So we're going to divide 224 by 7. And I got 32. So we have a mean of 32 here. Now, this little funky part, it says relate to measures of center. So again, we just want to make some observations about our numbers that make us sound like we know what we're talking about. So we might, for example, say our mode is less than our mean, or our mode is less than our median. Or maybe you say the mean and the median are both greater than the mode. All of those are true statements. They all compare to the center, which is your median and your mean. Another comment that sometimes is good is we have a median of 33 and a mean of 32. You'll notice none of our numbers are like outlandishly small or really, really large. We don't have like what some people might call outliers. So our data is pretty tight, it's pretty packed. So one comment we might be able to say is that all of our numbers tend to lie near the median or near the middle of the data. We don't have any extremely high or extremely low numbers. So those are all comments you could make, and they would all be acceptable when comparing to center. Your next lesson, you're going to be doing a little bit with finding range. You'll be doing it with interquartile ranges. It's a fun word to say. So just be prepared. Range is going to be the difference between the greatest number and the least number in the set of the data. But when you're finding interquartile ranges, like for your next lesson, it's going to be a little different. There's going to be a few extra steps you're going to have to do, and then you're going to be finding multiple ranges for that. But that's, I guess, a task for another day. Hope this helped. Hope you're not going stir crazy like me. Have a good one.